There we go. We are live. All right. What's up, guys?
I'm here. What's up?
Hey, how
I'm
you
still
doing?
waiting for you to come to the Mavericks room, big boy. Where you been? I look for your name every morning. No, Ryan.
I sent Rob the link. I wanted to go over there. It just so happens you're at the same time that we're doing our thing. So I definitely want to get over there for sure. How's it going?
It's going good. I mean, we knocked out 3 small winners this morning.
Nice. That's good. Yeah. Look at you trying to show off. Go ahead.
No, it was three little baby winners. You know, we're only trading off a 4-minute scale, which you don't trade off of. You know, and it's just banging them out, trying to pick up. I mean, the average guy today trading 2 micros, the average guy made $50. The bigger traders made 500, 1,000. You know.
Yeah.
But another winning week in the books. We're now I can't remember the last. It's at least a year since we had a losing week.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, again, they're just grinding it out. You know, listen.
Just grinding it out. That's great.
I'm very conservative, you know.
That's awesome.
When it comes to other people's money, I'm very conservative.
I have to look and see. I don't know. I don't know if I can say it's been a year. That's pretty strong. That's
amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So that's we had a super strong week here too. Actually, we had
you guys had a monster. You had a monster. On Thursday, Wednesday, 130 points.
Yeah, it was good.
It's only 6,500 on one S&P. Gee,
I know, right?
I don't know if I could live on that.
we had a great week. We had a great read on the markets, and you know they kind of leave us in a very interesting position right now, right? Like here we are again, risk on all-time highs. We've got some news that has just come across the headlines a little bit here. So I think you guys were talking about it right before I came on. What's the deal? Do you guys know? Did they say?
I don't know nothing about news. I was watching a gambling show, but
I thought you guys were saying something about oil when I came in.
I just said that oil is coming back a little bit. It was down about almost $5. Now it's only down $2.99. And supposedly there was a ceasefire again. You know, another bullshit thing in Iran, which I just wish they just wipe them off the map and forget about it and move on.
Call it a day.
Well, I mean, you know, they never. Let's say that 95% of the Iranians are great people.
Okay.
But the 5% of the religious fanatics that blow up buildings that you know, unfortunately, they cause all the rift. And of course, you realize this high price of crude. We have a glut in this country, so there's no reason for a high price of crude.
Right.
But the inflation damage is done, and we've already got an economy that's pretty weak for the average guy. Now, again, you're not an average guy, but for the average working man, listen, there's certain states, if you live in New York or you live in California, if you're not making $150,000 to $200,000 a year, you're living in poverty.
It's true. No, I mean, I feel like that's almost everywhere now. That is like the $100,000 is what it takes to keep a household steady these days.
Yeah, my first job, I made $210 an hour.
Right. Different times.
Yeah, it's way different times. Again,
$100 was actually a lot of money.
I really think it sucks. I think the economy sucks, but it doesn't matter. Again, I think one thing everybody got to remember, especially like you're like a robot. You put out your trade plan. Well, you put out your trade plan in the morning. You got levels you're looking for. Today they didn't qualify. You didn't make a trade today.
Yeah.
But when they come, you bang them. You don't care what Trump is saying. You don't care about anything.
And to be honest with you, and I was saying this last night in the webinar, and I think I might have said it on the stream today, I stopped thinking about what we're trading, right? It's just a chart to me. Like if I get too wrapped up into like actually thinking, wow, the S&P is up 600% this decade, and we're at 7,300, and we're up, 50% in 2 years. I'm going to start wanting to like trade my bias. I don't even, to me, this is just a chart. I don't even care. It's widgets for all I care. I'm just like, okay, I'm getting long. That's how it says to do.
It's like playing poker. It's just chips. Doesn't matter. It's whether they're dollar chips or $100 chips. It's 3 chips to call.
Yeah.
Or more to raise. The markets are the markets. You read the chart. You look for your best high probability setup. And if you get it, great. And if you don't get it, you move on. You sit down and you wait and you go in the next trade.
I mean, I said it kind of jokingly a few times. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to make dollars, right? So I don't really care anymore. I stopped caring. I stopped trying to figure it out, and I just try to get paid now. Like, because a lot of people trade opinions. Like, let's be honest. I know there's a lot of people with large accounts.
I have.
There's a lot of people with large accounts that are bearish right now. What looking at this chart right now, what tells you this is bearish, right? So I mean, I'm just saying, yeah.
You want me to make the bearish case?
No, because I know you can, but you know what? Go ahead. Because actually, it's funny that you said that, because Rob actually dug into your whole concept when we talked last time. He had the Schiller ratios and all that. So please go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
Well, no, I mean, the real case is there's no volume. Okay, so right now, my view is that there's a retail rally. Okay, you know that the retail trader is never right over time.
Right.
Right now, it is my opinion. Again, this is not fact, and I'm not encouraging. I'm long, so let's be clear. I may have a negative bias. Okay, but I don't want anybody running out getting short because I'm going to make this case for it, because I do believe it's coming. Okay.
I mean, I think you're right too. Shit looks crazy. The chart looks insane.
I'm saying that the big banks, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citi, all those guys are sitting on the sidelines. All the funds are sitting on the sidelines. They're letting the retailer have his day in court. They're pushing these markets up every day on lighter volume every single day. And when they decide, I think what Goldman and those guys are waiting for is a news item that is worthy enough to drive some panic, and then they're going to come in and pound them. Okay, that's what I say. But again, I'm long. My overall portfolio is always long. Right now in today's market, I'm dead flat at the moment, and probably will stay that way because it's almost poker time. But at the end of the day, I would not be surprised to see a massive haircut. But again, it's not going to come when I say it's going to come. And I want to remind everybody, and you know this, both of you know this, that there's plenty of time. When that time comes that we get to that real bearish sentiment, there'll be plenty of time to get in. We're not going down in one day.
Yeah, no, hell.
Oh, yeah.
When you were bearish a couple of weeks ago,
yeah,
you got paid for the short side.
Yeah.
But you waited until the right up. And that's the same thing. I want to tell everybody that you're trading a longer term time frame. Yeah. You have plenty of time. What are you going to miss? If you miss 60 points of an S&P sell-off that's 600, does it really matter?
No, not to confirm that you're going to be right on the right side.
That's my point. And people are too much in a hurry. And those who try to sell tops or buy bottoms never make as much money as they should make because they're out too fast once they're right.
It's true. It's true. They try. They got it. And then they get out here and it goes all the way here. You know what I mean?
And the other habit most investors have is they hold on to the dogs. So when the first selling starts, they get rid of their winners because they want their dogs to come back. And you and I all know, is that your portfolio is the sum total of all your holdings.
For sure.
Not any one particular. So if I make $1,000 and I can sell everything and make $1,000, then it doesn't matter that I have a loser. I can get rid of it all.
That's funny. Hey, I was looking at the comments. You guys can't see them. I'll send you this so you can see.
Hey, how was your explain of the trade plan last night?
It was good. It was really good.
I haven't listened yet. You're on my podcast list now.
On my to-do list.
Playing tomorrow.
I
can't wait to listen to it. I really want to hear it.
Well, you should. I mean, listen, it was my first pass at it, right? So, I mean, it wasn't like, I wasn't setting the world on fire, but the information that I brought was certainly quality. So I'll say that. I mean,
I think you're always setting the world on fire because if you had hair, your hair would always be on fire.
I'll deliver. The delivery will be more smooth next time for sure.
I'm sure it's great. I really can't wait to listen to it. I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna listen to it tomorrow morning.
I mean, the thing is, if you trade the plan, and I feel like honestly, if you trade my method with me, it really explained a lot of little nuances that I really take for granted. These are things that I've been doing it so long. I don't think about it. I just, even just the vernacular and the vocabulary, I feel sometimes is, TPOs and POCs and stuff like that. Somebody who's new to the game, they don't really, and you don't even got to be new to the game. People don't use market profile much anymore. So it's like an old guys thing. And I feel like, yeah. So, I felt like it was good. And Rob K says that he spied your booze over there, that you're day drinking. Getting it on early, huh?
Well, what's wrong with day drinking? It's Kentucky Oaks Day, man. I got some action in the Oaks. I got some action in the Derby tomorrow. I got a big superfecta I put on.
Wow.
Did you really? Did you really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what's up.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm a full blown total degenerate. Okay. I bet games. I bet horses. I'll bet playing golf. You know.
I absolutely love it. You're perfect for our team. It's perfect.
Oh my God.
I mean, you know, that's my wife goes, let's go somewhere. I said, I'm in heaven now. Where the hell am I going to go?
Yeah, where am I going to
I'm
go?
on vacation every day. This is my own resort. I got a pool in the backyard. You know, going out in the pool in the summertime.
The table's down the street. You're good.
5 minutes from the casino.
Yeah, that's what's. So when you go play poker, are you playing do you go to the tournaments, or do you just sit down at the table where guys sit
I
down?
don't play too many tournaments anymore. I'm too old. I don't have the I don't have the stamina to play 8-9 hours at a time and have to play perfect poker. Okay.
Yeah,
You know, I can, but then I got to come back and do it again the next day. I used to play tournaments, but
my attention span's like 2 hours, 3 hours.
the tournaments take a lot of mental stamina and they're long. Okay.
Right.
And I don't mind playing them. I mean, I'll play them occasionally, but I like to play cash games. To me, that's better. It's more fun for me. And again, like when I go to the Red Rock, I go for, like today, I'm going to go for an hour and then my wife's going to meet me over there. We're going to have a drink and come back and pack and get ready to go. But if I go down to the Strip and play, that means I'm committing to 7-8 hours of playing poker. Okay. And it's like trading. Doesn't trading, if you're actively trading all day, don't you get tired?
Oh,
yeah, I can't. I only have like a short window where I can actually focus, like laser focus. You know?
But when you were trading on the
insane.
floor, you were active all day if you were there.
Yeah, but I feel like it was different though, right? Like it was broken up. You know, like here we're staring at a screen, right? We're you're lasered in. Where I felt like, on the floor, it was like, I don't know. I just felt like it was, you had other distractions, other things.
The floor was more fun. I'm so old. I go back to when you could use the smoke on the floor.
Yeah, so, it was totally different. Totally different.
But it is tiring, and you don't really realize how tired you get. But it does take a lot of focus. And of
as soon as you leave, it's like somebody unplugged you. You're like,
and then you have the higher probability of out trades, especially if you were trading in a big pit if you weren't focused. Right. That's why I had clerks to go check trades, and they still made mistakes. So,
are you?
What do you think of the markets here? What's your guys' take, Rob and Ryan?
Rob, go ahead.
Oh man, we kind of look at the different time frames to help us dictate, if we're going to go long or short or whatever. And to me, it just seems like we're getting these crazy moves up. And you're seeing the volume and some pretty big size go off at the top, which to me tells me that that isn't people buying. That's people getting squeezed out. Like you don't buy at the top unless you have to, right? Like
you would say that they're finally getting squeezed out of their shorts?
They're getting squeezed out of their shorts. And you can see that in the absorption at the highs and like it's really big lot sizes also. You'll have low relative volume over the course of the day, but you'll have some really high single trades go off. Like, the other day we saw a 1,500 lot go off at a single price, where normally people would split that up over several price areas. This was just all one hammer, like just tank.
All right, so I have a follow-up question for you then. Okay?
Yeah.
This goes more to my point. Okay. When you see that, and you see the shorts finally getting squeezed in and finally throwing in the towel, what does that mean to you? And then I'll tell you what it means to me later.
Well, I mean, I think it's eventually now it can go down eventually. Yeah. Once we get enough confirmation, I think that can go down because now the shorts are cleared out, right? The shorts are out of the game.
Right. So that's always it's like, I love when we're in a bear market because you get the most vicious rallies out of a bear market.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I break the market into three basic phases. And of course, the blow off is when price and time mean nothing to anybody. They just want out or they want in, one of the two.
Right.
And, so listen, like I said, we're probably going higher. Unfortunately, the article you wrote last week, Ryan, on the 2 to 4%, we got 1%, and then we went straight up.
I know, not yet. It gave a pretty large window And like I was trying to tell somebody else who was like really looking into that, and I said, listen, I didn't write this article for you to be bearish, right? Because even if we pull back 2%, 4%, this is still a buyer's market,
It's
right?
still
Like,
a buyer's market.
100%.
like this is all this is just we just buy the dip right now. I mean, that's when we did that monster rally. That's what happened. So, I didn't want that article to mislead people, because I actually had somebody else ask me the same thing. They're like, "So, do you think this is coming?" I'm like, "Don't get it twisted. I didn't write that for you to be looking for a short, right? We have no structure up here. We can't be looking for shorts, right? What we're looking for is the buy the dip situation." But since you asked, let me show you this. So I was talking about this today on the stream, and I think you deal with Bollinger Bands and stuff like that. You're familiar. This is a VWAP chart, right?
Yeah.
So this pink level or line right here is the yearly VWAP, okay? And then this is the yearly point of control, right? So this is value in terms of volume, and this is value in the terms of the moving price, right? And so this is the one standard deviation, this gray line here. And then this is the two standard deviation. So we have officially, once again, closed not one, but almost 2 consecutive days now. We're getting ready to close well above the 2 standard. And for me, this just seems to me, this is just my thought process here, because I'm a big value guy, right? So we went from all the way from outside the value on the year to way upside to outside the value on this year. We're clearly, at some point in time, we're going to do a mean reversion, right? Because especially when we're all the way on the outsides of these values, we're extremely extended. At some point in time, especially when you get way outside of these areas here, eventually they pull back. So, I think the market's a little overcooked, but I do definitely think that we're going to get a pullback. And I actually love this 69.60 spot that we've talked about.
69.86. I'm still wanting that.
86, exactly.
Listen, I want to expound upon that a little bit.
Go ahead.
Your views are 100% correct, and
Right.
and we're probably right now. There's probably a 90% chance they have some mean reversion.
Yeah.
But mean reversion doesn't make the market bearish.
No, definitely not.
Mean reversion is just a normal way of trading when a chart gets too parabolic away from whatever moving average you're watching or whatever mean you're watching.
Yeah.
There's a higher probability that you should have retracement. But the retracement is actually value and an opportunity. And not telling you that it's bearish. So a 2 to 4% sell-off would actually be pretty bullish. If it stops,
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
If it stops at 2 to 4%, would be pretty bullish.
Listen, there's a lot of people who miss this massive move, right? And so anyone's looking for an opportunity right now if you're, to buy the dip, right? So like you said, a real healthy pullback would be insanely bullish. And so here's the same perspective, but on a much smaller time frame. This is a weekly. Each one of these represent weeks, right? And just like you were talking about mean reversions back and forth, that's what makes this bell shape. That's super healthy. Well, look at this week, right? We sat in this range here, right here, where it's white. This is basically the value area. And then we've had this insane push to the high side. You can see all this low volume in here and all this big market inefficiencies. All this shit needs cleaned up, every bit of it. And so just right back to value area low would bring us back to 72.10. And that is essentially about 50 points from here and back to point of control, which let's remind each other right here. If you look, this is very inefficient to the downside too. So we actually, and then this whole thing was just absolutely horrible as well. So we know that we're way overextended, right? And we know that, and again, I'm still bullish, right? If they want to go up Monday and Tuesday, I'll buy it then too. I'm just saying high time frame. We have some serious inefficiencies in these markets. They always get repaired. And so when I see this, it's constantly screaming at me. I know that you see things like this as well. You have to.
Well, I see them under different circumstances. Yeah, I see the same thing you see. I just see them in a different way.
Yeah.
And I think your way is great. I just don't understand it as well as you do, so I use what I use. But I would say to you, if I come in Sunday at 6 o'clock Eastern when they reopen the markets, if they gap them up, I'll be handing them to them. Okay.
Oh yeah.
If they gap them up, I'm going to be a seller. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
If they gap them down, I'm going to be a buyer.
For sure.
Okay.
Yep.
Either side, I don't care which side they open to. If they're big, if the move's big enough, let's say 1% in either direction, I'm willing to take the other side. Listen, I'm going to put a stop in it. Not like I'm going to get drilled, But
Yeah.
if you go back the last 3 Sundays, we were lower, and then by Monday they were ripping higher again.
I'm gonna buy this 7,200. I'm gonna buy this with both fists when we come down here,
Yeah.
right?
What
Because
about your
underneath
hands? You're gonna buy
71.99.
with your hands?
What'd you say?
Are you going to buy them with your hands too, or just your fists?
All right. So underneath 7,200, we basically peel down another 60 points, in my opinion, right? So this level has to hold, and then we kind of reclaim this support. And I think this is a fantastic area. We have lots of reasons to like it. And so this is even the weekly VWAP right here. So we were talking about value, right? Points of control, et cetera, et cetera. Like now we have weekly value down here from a VWAP perspective. So kind of, I like this spot. But again, if this spot doesn't hold, we come down here and then we reevaluate. But as long as we're going to continue our trend continuation, we hold 7,200. I'm a buyer. Underneath here, I get a little like, oh, and then obviously underneath here, I'm looking to buy in our real spot. You know what I mean? But
I think it makes sense. I think this is what most people don't understand is that we're not bearish. We're really, from a trading standpoint, we're agnostic to the market.
Yeah, I don't care.
I mean, let me make money. I don't care which side I make it on.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I used to get really butthurt when I missed moves. I mean, up until like maybe a couple of years ago, especially when like I knew it was coming. I'm like, right. So I used to get all upset about it. Now, like you said, it's pretty agnostic. Like, okay, whatever. Like, don't worry. I'll get in. Don't you worry.
The important part is to be able to trade tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think look, there's a lot of reasons we should be lower. And, but the tape, the market doesn't suggest that we're going lower yet.
No.
The only basis you could give yourself to wanting to be short right now is the overextension that you have in the market.
That's it. Let me show you. Do you trade stocks, Bubba?
Yeah.
All right, look, check this out. I think this is going to be a good play. I had it up earlier, but we didn't talk about it. But look, I've been stalking this trade since June of 2025. Okay. So I have an untested, this is Lululemon, and this is the COVID lows right here at 128.85. I have a very nice high time frame level of support that's coming off the monthly at 121.61. I want to see this level sweep COVID lows, play the 121.61, and reclaim this 128. And I think we got ourselves.
What stock am I looking at?
Lululemon, Lulu.
Oh,
Lulu.
Hold up.
It's just go to your closet. It's all your yoga wear. That's what it is.
Yeah, we know you wearing the tights right now.
I do wear tights, but not Lululemon. I can't afford Lululemon. That's what's I get all mine from Temu.
You know that this actually is what's the problem, right? So people stopped. They've lost a lot of their customers because their prices. And so the CEO who's in charge right now has insisted. Now listen how stupid this is. He's insisted that they're not going to lower prices to bring in new customers. That he wants to have the Apple model, right? Which I totally stand by because I don't discount my stuff, right? But what he wants to do is raise prices to prove to people that they're better than everyone else. You believe that shit? What kind of you already aren't having people buy because they're complaining it's too expensive. So you want to raise the price to prove to them that they're better than everybody else. I was shocked. I don't know if he's going like the ultra luxury, like Louis Vuitton route or what he's thinking. But anyways, if it sets up a good buying opportunity on the chart, I'm going to get balls deep on this thing.
Why not? I mean, I have no problem with it. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found that like the sweep of a low and then a reclaim of a level is just such a great,
especially something crazy high time frame like this. Yeah, this is like it kind of proves buyers have stepped in, right? I use that a lot of times in the actionable setups.
And you can show how this played out for you, Ryan, with your Intel trade. I think that's.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. There was Intel was crazy. I wonder if this thing's ever going to come down to earth, or is this just how it's going to be now? So, did you catch any of this?
No, I don't. I never trade Intel. A mistake, but I didn't catch a bit of it. I haven't traded Intel and. Hello.
Let me show you. What is that? Etsy. Check this out. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I think it's Etsy. Is it Etsy? It wasn't. Is it Wayfair? W. Let me look. This is it. Here you go. Check this out. Look at this $71 or $21.70. This massive push up from 2020. Look how they wicked this low, right? They did something crazy off of this. This was COVID lows down here, by the way. COVID lows. They did 487% off of that pop right there on Wayfair. We were able to nail this bottom. Some of these guys in the room were really long from 40. But with that being said, this is the same setup that I see on Lulu right now. This is the exact same.
Again, when they stop, it's like they stop going down. Give me a reason to buy.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna get crazy at first, but as soon as it starts to reclaim that COVID low right here, and it plays this big high time frame level of mine, man, I'm all in on that. So I just wanted to show it to you.
I love it. Listen, you have a lot of great stuff and finding opportunities. You know how hard it is to watch all the shit that we got to watch.
Yeah, well, and this is a different time frame trade, right? I'll get in this and check on it in a week or two. You know what I mean? And I don't have to babysit it, which is great.
No, I understand, but it's still, listen, every Monday night you're with me, I go over 30 or 40 different symbols.
I know, you're crazy.
And I'm tracking those things, and I'm not looking to be active in them, but I give levels. I assign levels to everything.
Yeah, Rob, we need to go into the daily trade finder. You know what's funny is every time I hear it called DTF, I always think down the fuck. And for some reason, right. So every time I hear Bubba's DTF, I'm like, it just makes me laugh every time. So,
but so what? You're done for the day. No trades today.
No trades today.
Any options trades you got open?
Me? No. Actually, I bought some gold. I'm long gold right now. I'd like to see this, obviously move up this week. As you know, I've been long gold for some time, and then I got flat when it came down, and I thought yesterday presented a decent buying opportunity. So I started, my position again, and, we'll see what happens. But that's really that, and the cannabis stocks are the only thing that I'm holding over the weekend.
Now, you buying GLD options or?
Just straight GLD.
Straight GLD, the stock itself. Okay.
Yeah. Because the thing is I don't know how long it's going to take for this route. So the way that I've been looking at gold, and when we had this massive move up, and I'm not here to say, look at me, I was right, but I kept telling everybody,
you were right. You bought it at 40, at 81. You bought it.
I don't know.
Right. 4,100.
I just kept saying, this is, everybody's like, it's going to go higher. Like after we pull back, they're like, it's going to go higher. It's going to go higher. I'm like, listen, it will eventually, but we don't know when. Like that was a pretty massive move. And just like the indices, when we have these huge moves up, they have to pull back and they have to accept value. Right?
You have to digest that area. They just got to.
We might go sideways for the rest of the year. Like we don't know that.
You know what you could do though.
Push, huh?
You know what you could do though.
What's that?
You could buy some calls out in September,
like leaps or something.
Well, you could buy some September calls and then sell the every other day calls against it.
Buy that. Okay.
I mean, you could buy. Here, let's see. Let me pull up. Let me put my thing. I gotta put my glasses on to see. But
I'm not. I mean, hell.
Let's see. So
GLD.
GLD.
So how would you match the deltas? Is it just 1 for 1, or if it was a 50?
I would do 1 by 2.
Okay. 2 on the terms of the 2.
I'd be long two because I think it's going higher and I want it to go higher and I don't want to get punished if I'm wrong. If it takes off. But so I could buy the 425 call right now for $27 in that's the at the money call in September. It's 140 days from now.
Okay.
So I buy 2 of those, saves me a lot of margin money, and then I can come back. And because gold has every other day expirations, if I bought that right now, I could sell. Let's say I could sell the 425 call for Monday for $2.14. Okay, so think about it. I'm going to get in 140 days. I'm going to get 3 rolls. I'm going to get 50. I'm going to get 50 rolls out of that approximately. Okay.
Wow.
So if I can collect an average of $1.50, I'm covering the cost of my entire trade. And if it explodes to the upside, I'm long an extra call or an extra, if you do it 1 by 2 or 2 by 4 or 4 by 8, okay, you're collecting all this premium every day and you get to adjust your premium once it expires. So let's say tomorrow or Tuesday, gold goes up to 430. Okay. I'm making money on my longs. I don't have my shorts on now. I get to resell my shorts. I can resell my shorts at 430 and still get the $2 out. Okay.
Yeah.
And if it goes down, I can sell them lower. So I get to bicycle my shorts up and down because I'm holding the core long. So it doesn't really matter.
You're running a wheel with call options.
With call option spread.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about right.
Yeah. That works. I like that. I actually like that idea a lot.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So let me get this right. You're gonna spend $27 times 2, and then you're gonna keep.
I'm gonna spend $5,400 to buy them.
Yep.
And I'm gonna collect $200. I'm gonna try to collect $600 a week against my $5,400 investment.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and you got a year to do
it. So I got 140 days. So I'm gonna collect 600, which is 140 days is 20 weeks. So I'm gonna collect 600 a week. I'm going to collect 12,000 for my 5,400 investment if everything goes right.
Okay.
I like the strategy.
Yeah. Well, it's the same. It's basically the wheel strategy, just for the
Yeah, but he's
right. But it's not. But with the wheel, you can get stuck and get assigned. With the wheel, you don't get the same benefit to the upside because you're short the covered call against it once you get assigned to the side. We're not covered up. We're only giving up part of our profits should it take off without us. But because of the every other day expiration, we get an opportunity to adjust what we're selling.
Wow. Okay.
So is that the reason you're doing the two by one, so that if it does take off, you at least got
You've got one.
Thing? So what do you do? So let's just pretend that you got 2 longs and you're 1 short, and this thing takes off. You just let the one that you're short expire, and then you just keep riding the long day.
What I'll do is I'll roll it like if I sell it for Monday, Wednesday morning.
So you're going to take
Monday. So Monday I'll roll to Wednesday. Then Wednesday morning I'll roll to Friday. And then Friday I'll roll the Monday, and I'll just keep rolling it forward.
If you're red on those, are you going to take the loss as you?
No, I'm going to roll them forward because I'll still collect the premium.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. That's cool. That's what's up. I like that idea. It's a great idia. So
now you could also do. I mean, right now is an ideal time to do it because volatility is low. It's coming, as you know, the VIX.
Yeah.
I mean, we rolled all of I do some continuous trades in the SPY, IWM, and Qs. We rolled all of our long Mays to June because the volatility is so low.
I mean, this is a good time to do it. I think, honestly, we're so low right now that it wouldn't surprise me to see us.
It wouldn't surprise me to see what you're looking for, a little bit of a sell-off.
Yeah.
Basically. And again, it doesn't make you bearish. Again, I want to be clear to everybody. It doesn't make us bearish. It's just a point of fact of the market that the market should have a little bit of a sell-off.
So this was a level of support that we were watching down here, 1634. I don't have anything for some time. And really, if they start pushing above this monthly at 1744 again, right here,
they'll go.
We got nothing left untested until we come all the way back to 23. So for me, the way I see it, the way I chart, is if this thing takes off down here, we come all the way to 23, which should send us down pretty good because this has got to be a 20% pop here, 40%. 40%.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge pop when it happens. And if you go back long enough on that VIX, it doesn't stay under that level for very long.
No. Like, this is kind of like the main spot where we continue to get little pops and drops. Yeah. So it could feed off of it.
We're due for a little bit of a volatility spike. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going down because obviously the VIX index is based on options being bought to open versus options being sold to open.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, but I would certainly love, here's the thing though. I like the fact that they, okay, so here's a play that happens every Sunday, Monday, right? And it makes it an easy read for us, especially when we're bullish. Every Sunday or, over the weekend right now, institutions will buy a shit ton of VIX calls because they want to protect their downside in case of a geopolitical event. I know that because we used to do it all the time. We spent like $1 million every weekend on VIX calls because it was cheaper than the loss that we would have taken. Okay. So we buy these. And then what happens is it spikes up VIX calls every Monday. When we open up, VIX is elevated, usually gapped up, and then they sell it back. And it makes for such an easy indicator for us because we're like, okay, we know we're bullish. All the time frames are bullish. Nothing happened over the weekend. We're pointed up. VIX is spiked. And then you wait for it to, you're basically watching it come all the way down to fill the gap or come lower, which gives us an easy read for a long anyway in the indices. So I love a good spike up, I guess is what I'm saying, especially if we know, kind of where support's at, because it just basically, confirms our thesis to ride it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
And I like a good spike because I'm always long volatility.
Yeah.
I mean, the positions that I design in nature are long volatility. Even though we're collecting premium every day or every week, there's so long volatility. So you get that volatility spike. That's why I tell everybody, on a volatility spike, we're always going to make money.
That's what's up. Rob,
Yeah.
What do you think about, I mean, there's got to be, so back when I worked for a fund, I don't know, it must have been about 7 or 8 years ago. They used to have a strategy that was built out, and I'm sure this is what Bubba would love this. It basically used to go out and they used to find mispriced options and look for like screwed up volatility skews, implied volatility skews. And they would basically, sell the vol back all the time. How difficult is something like that to actually bring into the forefront where we could easily see it like on a dashboard or something like that? Because if he loves vol, right? Like the vol crushes are amazing trades, and they're very low risk. So I was just curious.
You're also talking about, well, Rob's looking it up and checking it. I can see the computer working.
Nothing.
But that's the same as the CRTs and the Susquehannas. That's the reversal and conversion trade, right? They're looking for mispriced options.
True.
If you can immediately, if you can find them mispriced and get them mispriced, then you can spread them off right away too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And lock it up and put the money in your pocket.
Yeah, I always think of those like vol crush things as like an earnings release stuff. So
that's one of them. I mean, that's a big one.
It's a big one, yeah.
But there are you get spikes and you get mispriced, and if you can get in at the misprice, it's a big deal. It's
a big deal.
I once had a guy, the reversals and conversions, that started out as a collar in the stock, right? If you own the stock, you short the play, buy the put, you're locked in a price, right? But if you can do that for a quarter point better, then you can lock in a quarter. However, there's a big difference today. Everybody thinks it's so easy. Well, it's not, because now margin interest is 9%. So you got to make more than a quarter.
Mm.
Okay.
Right?
Interesting.
Margin interest has to come into play because nobody's going to put up, $3 million of their own money to do these reversals and conversion trades. So margin rates are a big player. Basically what it is how much of an edge do you have to get to make that trade? And again, what you're talking about, looking for mispriced options, that's one story. But if you want to turn it into a reversal and conversion business, which means you're just locking up dough, you got to figure out the percentage you have to lock in.
Yeah.
To make it worth the
time.
Cost.
Speaking of, how'd your Google trade go? I know that you had some.
I'm so short. We shorted it. I'm short call spreads. We shorted it today officially. It's right where it is. I mean, we shorted probably Google right now, I think, is probably flat. Last I looked. Let's see. Google is right now. I got so many charts up here.
I actually like this daily candle right now. This might be setting up.
Google's down $3 right now, so we're making a little bit of money on the short. We sold this morning.
Okay.
Again, it's just very overextended. I got nothing against Google, but if you pull up a chart of Google, I'll show you where I told everybody to buy it, and I'll show you where I told everybody to sell it. It's still on my chart. Okay, it's marked on my chart, as you know. Okay. We bought it at about the 290 area. Okay, after it came all the way down.
Okay.
And I just said this week, if earnings go up out of expectations, which they did, okay, I'm going to be a seller. So we bought initially at like 275. Okay. And held it. And I just said today, I said this week, if we go out of expectations, the expected move in Google was $20. The move was 30. To me, that's an automatic short.
Okay. I remember you talked about that last time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that real fast before we get off of here, because I thought that was very, very interesting. So you basically were telling me, and again, I'm just going to recap and you can fill in the details. You basically said you look for options, the way the options price the move in. And if it's a $20 move, and if it moves more than that, you basically say, okay, it got too much juice. And so they're going to do a mean reversion, basically. Right?
Here, I'm going to give you a live trade right now that may or may not work. But our Coinbase has earnings next week on the 7th.
Okay.
And next Thursday. Okay. As of right now, the expected move in coin is $20.
Okay.
Okay. So if the coin goes up more than 20 or down more than 20, I will take the opposite side of that trade.
Take the opposite edge.
Okay. That's just because they've moved it farther than they expected and they're already pricing in. I mean, the IV for coin for next week is 92%.
Yeah. It's pretty high.
Okay. So again, not that it can't support it, but
Yeah.
you give me an expected move and it moves well outside of it, I'm taking the opposite side because I'm purely going to play it from a math standpoint and look for a mean reversion.
That's cool. That's interesting. Well, it looked like Google was, you might be on that one. Let's see here. Where's that? Look at that. It's even getting you might make some money here on this one. That might be nice.
Yeah, super nice.
Yeah, looks good.
So
Well, that's what's up. Well, you wanted to keep it around 30, 40 minutes. You want
I
to
think
call
that's good. I think it's, I mean, you and I could talk for hours with Rob. I mean,
Yeah, I know.
we could do this all day, but I think I'd like to do, maybe one or more a week, every
Yeah,
week.
let's do it. Well, I mean,
right.
yeah, absolutely. You changed the date of your
It's for today because I'm traveling tomorrow. I'm on a plane tomorrow.
So what day are you? So you're not doing.
I can work with you just about any day because my time frame is different than yours. But
Well, no, but you used to do it Monday and Thursdays. Is that not going to happen anymore? Or?
I do a Monday call and a Saturday call.
But you're not doing Monday anymore, right?
I'm not doing Monday this week only because I'm going to be.
This week.
I don't want to deal with it. But
Yeah.
the next Monday I'll be back. I mean, I've done Monday calls for 14 years.
I got you.
Oh wow.
Fair enough. All right.
So next month, a week from Monday, you'll come back on. But I like this freewheeling stuff because I think we give a lot of education to people.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
You know,
We get to see Rob's brain work when we ask him questions.
this
Oh, God.
See the smoke coming out of the screen over there?
I can see it from
He's
here.
taking so much power; it's dark in that room.
I know.
He's got a little AI power station over there that feeds his
Oh
brain.
my God. You're not kidding.
All right, guys. So listen, next week, sometime during the week, you want to?
Yeah, let's do it.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'll text you during the week when I get settled in and I'm done with all my traveling.
All right, well, you enjoy everything, and tell your son I'm sorry, and we'll go from there. He's getting married.
We're all going to make mistakes. I made it 3 times.
Exactly.
It's okay.
He said he's getting married. I'm so sorry. All right, so
All right, guys.
Thank
all
you
right,
so
take
much.
care of yourself.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Have a good one. Cheers.